Hi, this is Wayne Williams of Speaking of Horses, and we're proud to be partnering with Northwest Horse Source, bringing you videos about the horse industry through our association with this publication, Northwest Horse Source. So, let's watch our current video of the week. Hey, we're here at Breyerfest 2014, and right now we're back in the barn area. We are talking to Holly Armstrong, who has one of the guest or celebration horses here, and it's a beautiful saddlebred, Marcus. The actual name is Paddington's?
Mark of Distinction.
Mark of Distinction, or Marcus, it all fits, right? Yeah. And of course you're showcasing the beautiful animation for parade with that saddlebred. Tell us a little bit about Marcus.
Well, Marcus is a seven-year-old Pinot saddlebred. He stands about 17 hands, and he loves the crowd and a parade, and the louder you cheer, the more animated he gets.
Well, most saddlebreds are that way. They love the applause, they love that, and of course, in parade regalia, there's nothing that's more animated than a saddlebred. They just do a fantastic job at that.
I couldn't agree more.
So how's your time here at Breyerfest?
It's been fun, overwhelming, an honor. Words can't even describe. An unbelievable experience.
Now you're down from Howell, Michigan?
Correct.
Now that's where in Michigan?
We're about middle of the mitten.
Middle of the mitten. Okay, all right. You gotta picture Michigan, right? Forget the UP. Oh, right. So now, tell us a little bit about the Flowers saddles that you ride.
I have about 4 Ted Flowers parade sets, and I started collecting them probably about 12 years ago, and was fortunate enough to, I didn't start with the full-fledged silver Ted Flowers parade saddles, but I started with what I could afford, and then I just had the opportunity to purchase a full set, and then another, and then another, and then another. So I don't know all of the history about all of the saddles, but was my pleasure in meeting you and finding out that I have a saddle that I know a lot of the history about.
Yes, we were going to get into that. One of the saddle rigs that you bought was my father's, and he had that saddle put together in 1958, so I know the history. I know why the saddle is heavier than the others, because he actually, got his own saddle and then had Ted Flowers cover it. Now, the Flowers saddles, actually, most of these saddles go back prior to 1970, because Ted Flowers actually was not making them past maybe 1968, 69. Some of his kids carried on for a year or two, and that was the end of it. So they're all at least 44, 45 years old. The one that you have now that was my father's, that my dad rode up through 2003, and I had just sent a picture to Holly of my father on that saddle. Last time he rode it was 03 in the Indianapolis 500 parade. But
there was a couple distinctive pieces on the saddle is how we determined that it was your father's set.
Yeah, the minute that you mentioned the 50-cent pieces on the breast collar, I knew that's how he repaired that. I knew it immediately. So, and it gave me chills to find out that rig is in your possession, and you're using part of it here at Breyerfest, not all of it, but part of it. And I also know that it's going to be maintained and taken care of.
Absolutely, and loved and carried on to my daughter for more paraders in my family down the line.
Well, you got to take care of the Flowers equipment, because it's all at least 45 years old, and it's not going to get any younger.
Correct.
And there's not going to be any more.
Correct. I couldn't agree more.
And it's if you didn't buy a Flowers saddle, the only other option for parade really was a Bolin, and with Ted Flowers using a Monel, a silver alloy, they were much more affordable than if you went to the pure silver Bolins.
Correct. Yes, definitely.
So a pure silver Bolin would run 100,000?
Easily,
yeah.
And upwards. I mean, some are museum quality in the museums, so.
Yeah. Well, the Bolins were the ones that the Gene Autry's and the Roy Rogers and all the Hollywood people got the Bolins, and we had one gentleman that I used to ride with in Indianapolis that had a Bolin. And the problem with the Bolin The problem was you had to clean it about once a week because it's pure silver. You couldn't let it set for a month.
Right, right. I think it's hard enough doing my saddle once a week.
Yeah.
Well, maybe every couple weeks, but not as extreme as, you know, the pure silver saddles.
But you have to stay on top of them, and you've got to stay on top of the leather because without the leather, you don't have anything to hold the silver together.
Right. Typically, my saddles are all stored inside the house, but I travel year-round from April to November, parading around across the United States, and my saddles go with, two of my saddles go with me, and it's tough. It's a lot to carry, a lot to keep up, and just last night in the arena we had a little breakage of equipment.
Oh, you did? I didn't see that. Aha.
We have a little repair to do today.
I've had to do that on the fly, too.
Yeah.
I will tell you one other thing about that saddle. It was in the Rose Parade one year.
That is awesome. That is my dream to someday be able to ride in the Rose Bowl Parade.
Well, I did it with my father. We rode together in the Rose Parade. And so that rig that you have now was there, and that was January 1st, 1979. I'm giving my age away now.
Wow. I would have been 9 then. I gave my age away, too.
Well, I was out there riding. I was a little older than 9, but it was January 1, 1979. And so it has been in the Rose Parade also.
That is phenomenal.
Well, we're going to show some film now of you in the arena, a little bit of you in action with Marcus.
Okay.
And we're also going to show a picture in just a moment of the rig. Not only I'm going to take a picture here of this up close, and then I've got some pictures of that saddle that was my father's that you now own too. So we're going to show some stuff, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you so much, Wayne. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, it's been a real pleasure, and I feel really good that I know where that saddle went. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep you up to date and posted, and it's an honor indeed. So.
Oh, I appreciate it. Hey, we're here at Breyerfest with Speaking of Horses. So.